Hello everyone! I am excited to present our group project in general physiology, and it is about the different plant movements, which includes thigmonastic movements, nyctinastic movements, geotrophism, phototrophism, thigmotrophism, and hydrotrophism movements. In this video, we will show how our group plant mango seeds at home using simple and handy materials. The materials needed are gardening tools, plastic cups in equal size, tweezers, weighing scale, loam soil, and mango seeds. For our first step, prepare the needed materials in front of the weighing scale. The plastic cups will serve as our indoor pots. Using the hand shovel, grab a soil and carefully place it inside the transparent cups. In this procedure, we place 100 grams of loam soil in each plastic cups. To make sure that each plastic cups have the right target amount of grams in each, we use the weighing scale to check that every cups have 100 grams of loam soil in it. And to moisten the soil that we will use, using the hand shovel, tilt the soil in a careful manner. This will also avoid the clumping of soil. After the measuring of soil, arrange in order the plastic cups with loam soil, and using the tweezer, gently place the mango seeds inside the transparent cups. In here, we place 5 mango seeds in each cups. Since mango beans like fertile soil, the loam soil that we use is an ideal medium to cultivate and grow mango seeds. With excellent drainage and pH of 6.2 to 7.2, mango seeds will successfully grow in time. And before gently placing each mango seed, carefully sow 1 inch deep and 2 inches apart using the tweezer. Our aim is to plant and grow Vigna radiata, or commonly known as mungo, to help us illustrate the different concepts of plant movements. On our experiment, and we use transparent plastic cups to demonstrate the principle of phototrophism, hydrotrophism, and geotrophism. Phototrophism, which is the orientation of plant in response to light, and geotrophism, that deals with the growth of the parts of the plant with respect to the force of gravity. And lastly, the hydrotrophism, that illustrate the growth of plant roots toward or away from moisture. The first plant movement that I will present is the concept of phototrophism. Growing Vigna radiata at home help us illustrate the concept of positive and negative principle of phototrophism. Upon our observations, the Vigna radiata sprout grows upward, since light is not yet introduced. On the next day, the light has been set up, and we are amazed how the mungo slightly bends towards the light source. And on the continuous observations, the mungo plant bends and very visible how it moves and grows towards the light, which gives us a clear understanding of the principle of positive phototrophism. So, how the plant moves towards the light source? With our previous discussions, we learned different plant hormones. With the help of ioxin hormones, which is located at the tip of the plants, it is responsible in promoting the elongation of the cells, especially on the shady part, causing the plant to bend and grow towards its light source. For the second plant movement, I will discuss the hydrotrophism. From the word hydro, which means water, and trophism, which means involuntary orientation by an organism that involves turning or curving as a positive or negative response to a stimulus. Is a plant's growth response in which the direction of growth is determined by a stimulus or a gradient in water concentration. With the improvised water compartment using 30 ml empty syringe, metal wire, silicone tube, and a bulb which will serve later as a water flow regulator of our Vigna radiata plant roots. In here, plants utilize hydrotrophism to bend their roots towards moistened areas in the presence of moisture gradients in the soil. Because roots play an important role in water uptake, hydrotrophism may help plants to obtain water efficiently under drought conditions. In this experiment, we illustrate the principle of hydrotrophism that modifies root growth to respond to a water gradient in soil and grow towards areas with a higher moisture content. When a plant part moves in response to the gravity, it is called geotrophism movements. In our performed experiment, the roots of the mango plant moves and grow towards the earth, which shows positive geotrophism, and the stem grows upward, away from the pull of gravity, which shows negative geotrophism. This can be shown through our experiment using the Vigna radiata plant. We keep the transparent plastic cups that serves as our indoor pots in a normal position. In here, we see that the roots are growing downwards and the stem is growing upwards. After tilting the plant and keeping it horizontally on the surface, we observe that after a few days, we notice that the roots of the mango plant grows towards the gravity, and the stem of the Vigna radiata bends upwards, away from the pull of its gravity. And for our fourth plant movements, I will present the concept of thigmotrophism, using the Momordica charanthea, or commonly known as ampalaya. By definition, thigmotrophism is the directional response of a plant to touch or physical contact with a solid object. This directional response is generally caused by the induction of some pattern of differential growth. This phenomenon is clearly illustrated by the climbing of tendrils of some plants, such as kalabasa, patola, and ampalaya. The tendrils actually feel the solid object, which results in the coiling response. An example of such response is illustrated in this video. Like what is shown in this video, the plant climbed to the metal gate, and the tendrils curl up and wrap on the metal gate as a support. The tendrils are sensitive to touch. When they come in contact with any support, the part of the tendril in contact with the object does not grow rapidly. as the part of the tendril away from the object. This causes the tendril to circle around the object. In this case, in a wooden bamboo, the plant wraps itself and cling to the bamboo as a support. Have you ever wondered, why does a touch-me-not plant close? First, let me tell you fascinating facts about this plant. This plant is called scientifically as Mimosa pudica plant and commonly known as touch-me-not plant. Touch-me-not plant leaflets close when someone touch, shake, or blow air at them because the stem of this plant has strong receptor in it, causing it to be more sensitive compared to other plants. Main reason why this plant is also called a shy plant, sensitive plant, and sleepy plant. When anyone touches this plant, it droops its leaves with the help of the swollen base called pulbini. Pulbini is present at the base of each leaflets. They consist of cells filled with water. This water applies pressure against the walls of the cells, and this pressure is called a Sturger pressure. It helps the leaves to stand upright. So now, when we touch the leaves of the touch-me-not plant, specific parts of the plant release certain chemicals. These chemicals cause the cells in the pulbini to lose water. When water is lost, there is no more Sturger pressure. And as a result, the cells collapse, resulting in the closing of the two leaflets. This movements of Mimosa pudica is one of the best examples that shows the concept of stigmonastic movements. Amazingly, one of the purpose of the closing of the leaflets and shrinking of Mimosa pudica leaves is one of the form of their defense mechanisms. Aside from the presence of the thorns, the silent movements of these leaves also aims to eliminate invaders, like harmful insects. One famous stigmonastic movements example include the folding of Mimosa pudica leaves. The drooping of the leaflets of Mimosa pudica when touched clearly shows stigmonastic movements. Since nastic movements pertains to the plant movements in response to a certain stimulus, there are many forms of nastic movements, and one of them is stigmonasty. Stigmonasty is a form of nastic movements of a plant or a fungus in response to a certain stimulus, in this case, with the stimulus of touch. At some point in your life, are you curious about plants? And did you come to ask yourself this question? Do plants sleep? If plants sleep, how would we know? Some plants appear to shut down and go to sleep. Sleep movements are known as nyctinasty. At sundown, the leaves of nyctinastic plants fold up or droop down. As turgor is decreased, specific parts of the plant acts as a hinge, allowing the leaf to droop. And as turgor is increased, the leaf returns to its daytime position. The folding or drooping of leaves makes the plant look like it is shutting down for the day. So, it is no wonder that nyctinasty movement is commonly likened to sleep. Meet Oxalis triangularis, also known as a purple shamrock because of its trifoliate leaf shape. Like acacia, the oxalis plants exhibit nyctinasty. Why means they raise and droop their leaves at a certain period of time as a part of their circadian rhythm. Plants have their own internal timekeeper, known as circadian clock, that anticipates environmental cues such as light, temperature, and regulates photoperiodic rhythm for the proper growth and fitness of the plants. As a result of the rotation of the Earth on its axis, the circadian clock provides plants the ability to adapt to daily changes in environmental conditions and the ability to time the production and consumption of energy. Oxalis triangularis are highly photophilic, which means that they often enclose not just their blooms, but also their leaves in response to light. At night, neatly folded Oxalis triangularis look like a cluster of little purple butterflies that then open wide to the morning light. The leaves of Oxalis moves in response to the intensity of light. They open up in daylight and fold when the intensity of light is decreased. Most nyctinastic plants close their leaves at night and open during the day. Nyctinasty, anastic movements such as the closing of petals of the plant that occurs in response to the alternation of day and night.
Can I call you baby? Can you be my friend? Can you be my lover up until the very end? Let me show you love. Oh, I don't pretend. Stick by my side even when the world is giving in. Oh, don't you worry. I'll be there whenever you want me. I need somebody who can love me at my worst. No, I'm not perfect, but I hope you see my worth. 'Cause it's only you, nobody knew I put you first. And for you, girl, I swear I do.